Wednesday night at 12:30 a.m. when we all left Staples Center, he gave me a hug and whispered into my ear, "Now I know I can do this." He was that engaged and that incredible.
The last thing Michael Jackson said to me was, "I love you, see you at 2 o'clock.
Well, I keep thinking, I just can't believe this happened to him.
How are you doing?
Tell me that was foul play done. That's what it tells me, and more to be investigated to see what really is behind all of this stuff, not just Dr. Comrade Murray.
Do you want someone to pay?
Well, someone should pay, not just someone, but all of them should pay that's involved.
All the doctors?
I didn't say doctors. Everybody else that's involved.
LaToya, who gave Doc Murray the orders to kill Michael Jackson? Who gave the orders?
Yes, of course, he's the fall guy. Absolutely.
He is the fall guy. All right.
Yes, and he knows exactly what he was ordered to do, and he followed the orders. It's like a magic trick. We're all watching this. Young kids acting over here. It's like a conspiracy.
Let's turn now to the best-selling author and radio host Deepak Chopra, who knew Michael Jackson for 20 years and has been good enough to spend some of this evening with us tonight. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
You heard from Mr. Jackson relatively recently, is that correct?
Yeah, I spoke to him a few times in the last 3 weeks, and then 2 days before he died, he left a message on my voicemail saying he had good news to share and would I call him back. I picked up the message a day later. When I called him back, the phone number wasn't valid anymore. And
Can you describe how did he sound relative to your long experience with him? Was there much change indicated or none?
In the last few weeks, he sounded really good. He was very excited about the concert. He was especially excited about a particular song that he was wanting to write. He had created the music. He had sent the music to me. We were discussing the lyrics of the music. So he was in a good mood. He was in a really good mood. I said, "Michael, you're coming back." He said, "For sure, this time I'm coming back."
We mentioned at the residence that it was happening and that, he'd finally now be able to, celebrate Thriller in the way he'd always liked to. And I think that was what was being prepared for, a thriller / ghosts. I mean, for the first time, we all sort of had a sense of relief. He was just in great spirits. He knew that it had come together.
We were here. We were right here a little less than a week ago, and Michael was with us. Both Ken and I worked with Michael over the years, and Michael and I were here in the final stages of mounting what we all knew and we all saw, I promise you, was his triumphant return to the world. It was also, I think, his greatest personal work. We did it all right here in this place, the Staples. He created this and brought it to life. It is a living testament to his ability to be timeless and timely, musical and magical.
And it was, honestly, I kept thinking he was going to jump out of the casket and start a show.
Yeah.
I wanted him. I thought maybe this is just the biggest. Well, you guys pull it over a little kid.
And I said, "Michael, you just want the whole world on that stage with you. When are we going to stop?" And he'd say, "That's right. I want my fans to see themselves. I want them to recognize themselves." They're, and so he was just inspired. He was excited. You couldn't turn it off. This meant so much to realize that what this is a great celebration of a master of his craft, and that it is a privileged peak at the creative process of a genius, and that we really do come to understand the reasons behind why Michael wanted to do this project. Michael's reasons and his messages are clear. They come right from Michael himself in the film.
I mean, you sometimes sit back and say, why did this have to happen? I mean, did it have to end this way for Michael Jackson?
No, I don't believe it did.
Do you think Michael was in good enough health to do this?
He was fine. When I saw him I haven't seen him the last 4 weeks. When I was with him, he was great. He was in great shape. Yes. No, he was in great shape, and I'm just devastated about it. But apparently, I knew he was going to make the greatest comeback in history because he was in great shape.
His tours were the greatest events in modern history. Michael Jackson, The Immortal World Tour by Cirque du Soleil.
seems that even in death, Michael Jackson will continue to entertain. His former doctor is in court and has pleaded not guilty to a charge of involuntary manslaughter. As a result, it looks likely that his trial will be televised.
It is you, the people, who are the court of last resort.
Now, before we go any further, you understand Murray is guilty.
This has been a nightmare for him for many different reasons.
We dare not show you the rest of this scene. It is too shocking to watch. Black Pit of Dr. M.
I'm innocent. I'm being hung for a crime that's not mine.
Please bear with us.
To the charge of offense of involuntary manslaughter, a felony, Dr. Murray. How do you plead?
Your Honor, I am an innocent man. I therefore plead not guilty.
I have done all I could do. I told the truth, and I have faith the truth will prevail. God bless you, and thank you.
But tell us what it's been like for you.
Like a living nightmare, to be very honest, and
Conrad Murray, he has been charged with involuntary manslaughter for supplying a lethal dose of propofol to your brother. He was just in court this week. He pled not guilty. Now, people have come out and said that they think he was responsible for your brother's death. How do you feel about that?
well, it seems that that's the case, doesn't it? That's for sure. I have faith in the judicial system, and we're going to find out the truth with everything in a few weeks.
Have you been able to process that he's gone?
No, he's still so much alive for me. Thank God.
It's interesting because
August 16th, 1977, 9-year-old Lisa Marie was home at Graceland when her father Elvis suddenly collapsed in his bathroom and died. There was a lethal mix of 14 prescription drugs in his system.
Are you struck between the parallel in your father's life and Michael Jackson's life? Your father and your former husband?
Yes, it really blows me away, to be honest with you.
I thought it was interesting when you wrote the blog the day after Michael Jackson's death. You titled the blog, He Knew. What did he know?
When I was watching the footage of the ambulance backing out of the driveway, and I went back to this conversation that I had with him at Neverland in the library. We were sitting by the fire, and he was telling me that he was afraid that he was going to end up like my father. You know, he was always asking me about when he died and how it happened and when it happened and where. And
Michael was always asking you about your father.
Yes. And he said, I feel like I'm going to end up the same way.
And did you say why?
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? And I don't understand. Down to the play-by-play incident was identical.
When we were hiking this summer, Lisa shared something with me that I think you all will find interesting.
This is a home in Los Angeles where Michael Jackson died. Across the street, just a stone's throw away, was Elvis Presley's California home, where Lisa Marie spent a lot of time growing up.
What about the irony of that? Just across the street.
It's my mother. When I came home after being in England for so long, I wanted to drive by and see where it was, and I lived there up until after he died. She sold it, so, and I had several birthdays there, and I said, she said, it's right across the street. I said, oh please, it's not right across the street. You're being, you know, whatever, shoot her off. And I drove, and it literally, I was completely, you know, I don't even know how to describe that, how that felt.
My birthday wish is that you will join me in some new undertakings. It's not perhaps, but know what? It will be a real fan communication system, but some wonderful surprises also.